Hello everyone, and welcome to a cracking voice intro of a Starcraft 2 replay. This is going to be a Master League game on Cloud Kingdom. My opponent is the Red Protoss Escaflowne? Escaflowne? I don't know. And I am Ketroc, the Blue Terran. Escape Athlon? I don't know. So, yeah, I had a few matches in a row where I got to match up against TvP on Cloud Kingdom, so I thought I'd kind of run through them as I was attempting to do my Sky Terran build on this map. So, yeah, Sky Terran versus Protoss. I probably haven't done that on my YouTube channel yet. I was experimenting with it a little bit on stream. I guess the general concept we can talk about here, or my two theories I have, is one, if I can reach, 3/3 battle cruisers, I feel like I can destroy most Protoss compositions, if not all of them. And two, with Yamato and planetary fortresses, I feel I can hold off typical Protoss-sized armies at whatever point in the game. So like a 1 PF can hold off a really quick push, 2 PFs can hold off a later push. If I get quick Yamato, by the time he gets like a significant amount of Immortals or a Colossus, I can start Yamatoing those things. So that's my theory. What I've noticed sometimes is it's hard to take expansions if he has good map vision, much like my TvP. And I'm going to be playing this a lot like TvP, in that I'm going to be going for like just straight to Battlecruiser almost, with no army. So I'm doing a 1-Rax fast expand with a bunker. And I should have scouted. I don't believe I did. No, I didn't. But some of my own interest's sake, because I don't really know the timings. I want to know when I should expand, or when I should scout. I want to scout to see if he went Nexus first, or 1 gate. 1 gate fast expand, or even like a 2 or 3 gate fast expand. I just want to know. Basically, the information I want to know is whether he's 1-basing or not. So I think if I arrive around 4:45, seems like a good timing. So that means I gotta leave my base around 4 minutes. Okay, this replay analysis is for my benefit too, guys. Come on. So I guess for the SCV that built my bunker, I can send across the map. Or I can say around, 19 of 27, I can send an SCV. Something along those lines. Actually, I'd have to send it earlier. Never mind. I'll save that analysis for outside of the video for myself. The idea is if he's going 1 base, then I'm going to turn this into a PF, and I'm just going to play like my old school, like Fortress fast expand versus Protoss, to try to survive on 2 base versus his 1. But as long as he expands, I'm going to be doing my build. So bunker keeps me alive versus first Celt and Stalker, and then I'm going to go straight into a 3rd command center, and only throw out my gases after I throw down to the 3rd command center. Also, when it's about halfway complete, you'll probably want to start your Inge Bay, or about 2/3 complete. Basically, you want the Inge Bay done for when you land this, because this is going to be your PF. And immediately after this command center, you want to build another command center. So it's kind of like my Shakuras Plateau build versus Zerg, except all these command centers don't represent a base. I'm going to be using them defensively as well. Probably should not have canceled that bunker until I had another one put up already. Obviously, this is a huge weak point right now. I only got 4 Marines. Upping my gas and starting my tech towards Yamato. And I say Yamato instead of Battlecruiser because I don't really want the air upgrades. I don't want anything yet. I just want as many Yamatos as possible. That means energy upgrade on the fusion core, followed by a Yamato upgrade, and just like as many Battlecruisers as I can afford. So I did clear this with the Marines, but looks like he's going to spot it anyways with his Observer. Also starting to put up a turret ring here and here, here and here. Obviously, much like in my TvT build, drops can be like a huge Huge problem for me because we look looking at the units tab right now. I have 4 Marines. That's my entire army, so I'm rarely reliant on these PFs getting work done. As soon as the starport's complete, you want to start your fusion core immediately. I like to go to like say 2 starports, fusion core upgrades. No armories yet. Any extra minerals should be put towards getting command centers to put here, and I guess here. I want to double PF these entrances because 1 PF is not going to work versus a Protoss Death Ball, but 2 PFs might with Umatos. Awesome. That was a nice little assist there. The missile turret got sight range, which meant this bunker could shove the observer back, and then the observer got shoved right to the missile turret. Nice give and go play there. Alright, so doubling up the PFs here. Just starting my battlecruiser production. Got the energy upgrade, fusion, whatever they call it, weapons refit. I don't know what that said, but the new model cannon's on the way as well, that upgrade. Protoss he's got some good map vision with the pylons. He's playing really passively, and he's just on 3 base. And I think this is a huge metagame edge to this build because Protoss is, I think they typically think, you know, as long as I can survive the mid game, I'll win, because that's when I get Colossus and Psystorm, and then that's over. So they're worried about like defending drops and all that nonsense, and like early pushes. And they don't feel any need to be offensive. So if they kind of sit back like he's doing here, it kind of plays into my advantage, which is a nice little metagame edge, because that way, you know, the Protoss thinking he's getting advantage going into the late game, but the late game is where I'm striving for here. You do float minerals, so it's nice to have extra missile turrets, and on top of that, Void Rays are mothership. There's counters you often see, so getting the detection and the anti-air helps as well. It's like a Warp Prism's going to do a little mid-game harass, or late game, whatever you want to call this. So I saw it come in on the sensor tower, and it passed by these missile turrets I already had set up. A lot of zealots, but 2 PF should do pretty good work to that. However, that's a pretty good distraction because he has a large army coming in from the south. Kind of clustered up here. Oh, I remember this. But since he's all clustered, he can't get his units in range. In fact, it's like the Colossus is getting it. He stutter steps forward to get them all to attack, and then all of a sudden now we got like 2 or 3 fortresses shooting at him. So not a good spot where you want to stutter step. My battlecruisers weren't there for the party, unfortunately, but they arrived in time to see the aftermath. One missile turret here would probably be a good idea. Obviously, DTs can come in and create havoc. This is funny. That's how a command center jukes zealots. Just let them finish their A move, lift off, let them do their A move, and sit back down, turn to a PF. Triple PFing this area, one for the high ground, just because, you know, you can do Psystorms and this crap, and it's a little annoying. Looks like he's throwing away sentries. They don't really have any late game role, so let's bring up supply there. Bring up the army tabs and see that his army, wow, that just shot up fast. 65 and 45, that's 11,000. Mine is only at 9,000. Not maxed yet, though. He probably thought my whole battlecruiser force was there, so he stepped back. Luckily, that was kind of tricked. And finally my Valkyries, of course, with me routes to the north. There's Zealot Harass Force, but against double PFs, I mean, this can only do so much. And if he's not going to focus fire SCVs, it's actually going to do nothing. Kind of just cleared up this area, checked to see if he had this base, and he didn't, so expanding all over this area. Do you throw away Colossus? I guess you could throw away Colossus if you're going pure anti-air. A little bit late to repair there. It's a nice surround with the blink. Whoa! Okay, I just learned something. So, if stalkers blink, they cancel whatever seeker missile is chasing them. However, in this case, like I'm firing from up here, and check out the range on these. It fired all the way down here, from all the way up here. That's definitely, Blink definitely did not cancel the Yamato. I'm deciding to go offensive here. I figure I'm really close to his fourth base, but it's very undersaturated. Looks like he never even saturated his fourth. And he's got this going on, which he could just be completely flustered. Yeah, it looks like he's deciding to transition into Void Ray. No upgrades on them yet, though, besides the shields, which upgrade across the board. I'm guessing he's 3-3-1 on his ground units. You just get a lot of feedbacks off. All those species in the yellow are just 200 hit points from feedback. Or 100 to 200 hit point damage from feedback. Kind of mana mules, but at the same time they can compare. It's real intense, but he probably sees those mana mules. So I completely crushed his little Void Ray ball he was building. He was over here with the Colossus, or with the Stalkers. Took down the 2 PFs. I did a little bit of repairing with the mules to get some extra kills. But yeah, his income's completely gone, being out of position, and base trading is not going to work with Stalkers. Maybe you can take down one of these bases, but you definitely can't get through 2 of them. This is about to be back up as well. Alright, so that's my Sky Terran build, and we're going to hop into one more match. I got 4 of these, so I think I'll split up into 2 videos. Okay, next one was Cloud Kingdom 181. Go. So again, going 1 Rax fast expand, which looks completely typical. I didn't get to do it this match, but one thing I'd like to do now is actually fake the wall off here with another depot. It's something Flash does, and it's something has a big advantage too, because if you wall off like that, really the protest has no idea what you're doing. And I would think if they're going to guess, they probably guess that you're taking gas and doing something aggressive, because you want to hide it. I'm not. It looks like no, I didn't go bunker first. Bunker, I think you wound up by 445. I believe is the timing. I don't know. Just basically, as soon as you start this command center, very next thing you want to get is the bunker without cutting your SCV production. I took my gas really early this time. Not sure why I did that, but I wouldn't suggest doing this. Third command center, then start your gas. having delayed this command center and with all the extra gassing coming on, I get from having 6 guys on early and 6 less guys on minerals, it'll actually completely change the way the resourcing works. But since I'm just very new to this build, you know, it's not like I have pre-planned spending anyways. Did I scout this match? I did, okay. And I saw that he expanded, so second command center becomes orbital, not PF. Third command center becomes PF at the wall. Being a little bit smarter with the bunker this time, not canceling it until I have a new one just about done. Turret for DTs, it's 9 minutes in, probably late for that, but oh well. Well, no, 9-minute DTs when you expand. I guess that's... DT expand might show up around that time. So again, probably after I start the 4th command center, or maybe around the time, just before I start the 4th command center, I'll throw down the factory. Followed by starports immediately, and followed by fusion core immediately. Then you want to start on these upgrades immediately. B. Looks like he's gearing up for a pretty major attack here. He's got some 4 proxy pylons. I'm gonna be coming up my ramp here. I haven't got the 2nd PF done yet, but it is a joke. And he's actually going to blink right by. That, my friends, is GG. Yeah. So, what do I learn from this? Reliant on the PFs, don't just have to worry about the drops from harassment, but things like blink stalkers or just run bys could be a problem too. I kind of place this in the middle of the ramp, assuming when the attack comes, the rocks will be down. But that doesn't really make much sense. I should actually keep the PF more like here. Like I said, I don't think he actually can position it that way. More like this though. That way it defends more of the actual ramp, which is this section. And then later on I'll have a 2nd PF over here, right? So then I'll have 2 PFs guarding the entire ramp. Bunker should probably go over here. Try to keep those marines. Just to wall off, prevent that run by. Just having a depot, like I gotta build depots anyway, so keeping my depot wall like this is probably a good idea too, so I can always throw it up if he tries to do a run by. Kind of blocking them into the PF zone. I can always pull SCVs to repair from over here too, so it's not like I need this wall down to get SCVs over. Okay, so that was match number 2. Why not? Let's just keep going. Yeah, we'll do one more. There's only 2 more. Let's just do all of them. Make this a really long video. So 183 is the next one. My mic. Totally forgot. Sorry, I've been gone for 3 weeks. I gotta hang it over here or it starts popping. Sorry if it's been popping the whole time. It should be done, that thing now. Okay, so Cloud Kingdom once again. 1 Rax fast expand once again. Okay, depot. Barracks. I'm setting up my scout now. Looks like it's gonna arrive way early. Okay, so I gotta make that a later scout. I did check to see everything's normal though. Two pylons, gateway into cyber core, gas, and it's less than 100 gas out of the thing. I think this is a good idea. Keep these marines separated, and maybe even on the other side of the bunker. Well, definitely separated. Maybe I should keep it away from the bunker here. Maybe just like a marine here and a marine here. And that's because if a first zealot comes in, you want to be able to micro your marines around. And if your marines start in the same position, it's just so hard to get the micro going. Where if I had a marine here and a marine here, say the zealot goes to attack this guy, I can just circle him around like this. Just circle him around this stationary marine that's doing all the damage. And same way, if zealot attacks the marine that's here, just take this marine and circle it around the stationary one over here. So I saw pylon and no expansion, but I'm going to assume that he's expanding. It's not a safe assumption, but I feel like I got to make some sort of guess, I think. I really like that move. That was so sweet by the Protoss. So he comes in with a probe and Stalker at the same time. Stalker soaks up the hits, probe does the run by. Luckily I noticed it and I raised the wall in time. And we check his vision. Oh, he was able to spot the third CC. Damn it. Alright, so don't put it in this pocket. Put it one across that pocket. Learn something new. I thought he saw nothing. So at this point he knows I went one Rax fast expand, but he doesn't know about the third or fourth command center that's coming, although the third's just going to play a defensive role. Engineering bay, you want that complete for when you land this command center, so I built a little bit early. I could do that later. I do have a significant amount of gas now. I could start my factory. It looks like I went fourth command center first, which I think is probably the better decision. Fourth command center, then factory. So again, taking my own advice from last game, building the PF more to defend this area. You can't actually fit it down this pocket, which kind of sucks. And then throwing up this bunker right here just to prevent the so the SCV had to run around. That's to prevent the run by, so you can't actually run through here. Not sure if I can show that, but yeah. See, it's a tight seal. Just check out this area with Marines. Come back, turn to PF. There we have it, PF frontier and a PF front over here. Transition those into double PFs and then transition into adding in Yamato. And I think at any stage of the game it should be okay. One PF should be okay for now. Two PFs good for later. Two PFs with Yamato when he's reached his, Colossus death ball. But that is mostly theory. I haven't actually faced a whole lot of heavy pressure with Protoss before. Nine scouts, which is always good. I don't think he knows what's at the top of my ramp. Has he looked up here? Oh no, he has, okay. He knows. Proxying triple Stargate and then two random cannons. My build creates some crazy responses. This is Master League too, just in case we didn't know that. I guess he did kind of wall in the cannons, so Zerglings can't get at them. That's always good. If I were scanning him, then I wouldn't be able to know he was doing this, but I don't really care what he's doing, because I'm just making battlecruisers and command centers, and battlecruisers and command centers, as well as battlecruisers. Starting my armory upgrades now too, now that I'm up to 6 gas. So got my first Yamato almost ready. 125, there we go. Got +1 air weapons, +1 ground weapons. Clearing out the tower, coming over here and clearing out this spot. And then coming for the mass expand. Yamato to snipe the Colossus. I just learned right there you can't one-shot a Colossus with the Yamato. For some reason I had in my head that it was 400 damage, but that was wrong. Can one-shot Immortals though, and Colossus you can get like redlined, so I think you put him down to what, 50 hit points? That was mostly just a throwaway as ground army. Going ahead and taking my 5th up here. Ending with some turrets. And this is down here. And now that we both have half the map, I'm kind of feeling like if I can just take over one of his bases, much like my TvT idea, if I can just take over this base, then all I have to do is defend, because I'll have, you know, what, 6 bases to his 4, or 7 to his 5, or whatever it is. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, 7 to 5. I have a queued up attack there. I queue up Yamatos, then I queue up an attack, and then I queue up a retreat. So they come out, empty all their Yamatos, then come kill it off if it has any remaining hit points, then retreat. I don't have to look at any of it. Now the Vespian. I didn't want him to know that I was coming over here. But he did scout it out, and his army's actually right in the area. All of a sudden I see the warp prism, or sorry, the mothership core, and I'm like, oh no. And there's a lot of Archons in there. Just hanging out in the area though, I do want to attack, so pop out. I keep splitting these units, not pulling them straight back. Ouch, look at that, that one, very red. So at least I got some missile turrets in the fight, which helps. Gives me the detection and puts in a lot of extra firepower, because I was going to get absolutely slaughtered this battle. And I still lost pretty handily, but no, not as bad as you might think. I think I lost like say $4,000 more than he did, $3,000. However, one problem I have realized is look at my hockey here. This is my hockey. I only made 4 starports, which is enough to get me maxed, but once you max and you have money, before you do this orbital farming, you should definitely up your production to say like 12 starports. So I'm trying to throw down more now. Here's a couple. So you can see I got the money to remax, but I don't have the production, which is pretty stupid. So he's pushing over here. I'm throwing up more emergency turrets because I don't have much yet. I got 1 battle cruiser, 2 now. Totally forgot to make starports. Everything's the same as my TvT build, including my I'm gonna steal your minerals because I want to mine out my side for the map. Plus that, plus some. So still have 4 starports. Okay, so I built more starports. I never hockeyed them. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, now we're up to 11. Trying to kind of re-establish this high ground area. In hindsight, since this was my target, I really could have just slow pushed that, you know, put commands in here, a bunch of turrets, put commands in here, a bunch of turrets, put commands in here, a bunch of turrets. I think I also thought I could one-shot Archons, but all I did was take off some shields, which will be regenerated back to full in like 45 seconds. So that was pretty stupid. I did a lot of single Yamatoing of Archons thinking I'd be able to kill them. Apparently it's just Immortals. Immortals are the only ones you can do that to. Speed it up a touch. Denying that kind of stuff there. Did catch some units in there, I don't think I even noticed. I'm seeing some feedbacks as well, so it looks this composition is decent. Got some Vikings for the Void Rays, but I figured I could create the Void Rays, but not when that happens. You only have 4 BCs left with some repairing SCVs, but that was enough to make a fleet. So bring up units lost tab. I'm actually behind by 4,000, so I think I started ahead 3,000 in the early game, so spells not winnable. Void Rays you can pop in one shot, 250 hit points versus 300 or 250 combined hit points with shields, I'll say, against 300 damage Yamato. I guess if I'm just going to come and snipe and move back, I should be targeting Void Rays, Immortals, maybe even Stalkers. Unless I want to start double tapping the stronger ones. Take 3 to kill a mothership. 2 would almost do it. I guess looks like he kind of made the decision that, you know, this looks way too fortified, so I'm going to go attack somewhere else. And I think that's going to cost him the game. It's allowing me to set up this high ground once again. And once I see, like, in my radar that he's way out of position here, I'm just going to go in and kill his base. And now he's kind of finding out, hey, this is, like, really fortified too. He thought when he originally looked, there was only 1 turret, but now it's up to, like, 7 or something. And he decides just to pull back. And it's too late. Got these defenses set up here. This time I actually split up a little bit, I think. Right? Yes. A little bit. He does get most of them though in these things. He shoves everything in there. But look at the units tab. That everything includes 2 Archons. So yeah, you can't stalker toilet. You know, there's a reason there's nothing called a stalker toilet. You need to splash down. Completely lambasted in that fight, and all of a sudden units lost tab is back to 6,000 in my favor. That I got his final base. That's mine now, so I had 7 base on 5. And I got an army and he doesn't. And that's basically going to be it. Should try to keep a guy in these bases. I was finally sacrificing SCVs too. I think my SCV count got up to like 92 at one point. But I started to distance mine them. Like when I throw my SCVs away, don't throw away on A move, just distance mine like over here. Because if he never kills them, you know, they still kind of help. But he's probably going to have to come over and kill him, which will take some action. And the end result is dead SCVs, which is what you wanted with those SCVs anyways, is to kill them off to free up supply. Yeah, so that was a fun game. I saw like my Viking fail. I was like, oh, I'll just kite them all into one vortex. If I can survive, they die all within the span of a few seconds. Alright, so one final replay. This was my last match. This build, 184. Whew. Okay. So I'm spawning in the bottom left this time. This guy knows who I am. But that's okay because I never actually do the Sky turn build, so he's probably, if he actually knows me well enough to know what I do versus Protoss, he's probably expecting 2 racks play. So again, I scout way too early. I leave my SCV kind of over here, back. Let's get the Expo and head home. I can tell that's got a lot later. Bunker time to prevent the Stalkers from getting in. That looks really misplaced. From here it looks okay, just because of the perspective, it looks like, you know, it's only like this far away from there, it's only this far away from there. But this distance is actually more like that. So you gotta remember there's that cliff face. Right? It actually goes down to here. So I'm leaving like a lot bigger gap on this side than I'm over here. I don't know. Considering this is all the units I have in the world, it's probably better to make sure I get dead center of the choke. Anyways, I digress. So this becomes an orbital because he expanded. This one becomes the PF. Then I get the 2 gas. I think I did in that order. Yeah, probably. Over here, PF. And kind of late starting my factory. It's unfortunate. Usually somewhere between the 3rd and 4th command center being built, I like to get this factory started. So you go factory, starport, fusion core, then wait to build an entire battlecruiser, which is another 90 seconds. And that's when I get my first unit out on the field, basically, other than my first 4 Marines. So again, learning from my mistake, blocking off that. No, don't allow the run-bys. Maybe I should jam this turret up in here, actually, or up in here. This side would be better. You don't want to take away too much of the surface area for your repairing, though. In a pinch, you need to get a lot of SCVs around this thing. Given he may negate that with force field anyways, but you never know. You don't want to give him his like free force fields by putting structures as that act as force fields. So it looks like he's doing a big attack over on the bottom side here. We are 16 minutes in the game, so we got Psystorm. We got 6 Templar with like lots of energy. We got a couple, well, no more than a couple. We got 6 Immortals, so that's gonna do a lot of damage to the PFs. And 5 Colossi. Wow, this is a really big attack. But I'm up 4 bases to 3 at the moment, so let's see how this goes. Again, these kind of prevent me from getting against round. To prevent the giving against round though, Zealots are acting over target. Good size turns on my repairing SCVs, and there's nothing by the time my BCs get there, there's nothing to repair. I guess I have my BCs up from this area because I was taking my 4th. Always a little bit more worried about the bases I'm trying to take. Don't know his Templar, which is good. I approve of that. What is the point though where I'm spanning command centers? I can always see if I can retake these quickly. I didn't get a lot of the brunt of his army down though. He still has 2 Colossus left and he still has the 6. Yeah, still has 6 Immortals. And, you know, just in case you didn't know, Immortal damage is 50 versus Armored, so that does very well versus Planetary Fortresses. And the return damage will, Fortress gets knocked from 40 damage down to 10 because of this Hardened Shield mechanic. Building in range of him. Oh, just outside of you.
Shadows.
Oh, not anymore though. You can see, wow, that's fast. Did snipe 1 Colossus, probably not on purpose, but it worked. We gotta try to target 2 different targets. So he may believe like he has me on 2 base right now, because he doesn't know I've taken this. Well, I guess by the big round circle on the map, he knows I have a 3rd, but he probably doesn't know about the 4th anyways. So he's blinking in. I did bring over some SCVs to repair. Not sure if it's going to be enough. Well, yeah, that repair is starting to work out. Stuck's not going to be enough to take it down. Alright, so units lost is obviously in my favor, but he's destroyed a base, which more than makes up for just $1,000 in units lost. But with that said, I do still have one extra base on him, just this one's not saturated at all. In fact, this one's not really that saturated either. Not able to get that repair in time. A little bit of repair in the bunker, but against that many immortals, it's not going to work out very well. Still feedbacking my battle cruisers. And it looks like he's going to make a suicide run of this. Get down everything he can during this time. Taking out 1 starport, 2 starports, now down to 2 starports. After the orbital, I did not lift it off, no. I'm not sure if I was looking at this battle right now. I might have been trying to just get my other bases established. No, I was trying to get this stuff established. I was trying to retake here and retake here. Figure like I can get this stuff up before his reinforcements arrive. But here comes the reinforcements now. Okay, so did knock me down to 34 harvesters. However, at least I have a lot of just don't want to bring up what structures I have, right? But I got I got 10 command centers, so I can build SCVs 10 at a time. That helps. Can I afford to build them 10 at a time? Probably not, but I'll take what I can get. Speed it back up. I do have a little bit of sight on here with my vision mini-map. You can see I can see where this blob is. And I can see it's moving south. It's just hanging out here. It'd be nice to get another sensor tower up over here, but obviously, you know, I guess rebuilding my economy is probably the priority, and next priority is probably getting battle cruisers. Going back up to 4 starports, so battle cruiser I lost track of. It's a neat little trick. Put my SCVs in auto repair, right click them on the planetary fortress, and then shift right click them on this mineral patch, which means they're going to repair this fortress as long as the fortress exists, and then when it goes down, they're all going to immediately flee to this mineral patch. The mineral walk over there actually, so maybe they'll even survive. Repairing, the immortals get in on it, and that's for that. And 3 of them make it. 3 is better than 0. That's going to be a hard base to defend anyways right now. That's okay. I think I'd actually rather take this as my 4th and this as my 5th, and then start pushing. Like once those are get nice and defended, I can start pushing this direction. Push up here towards that 4th and take out this space. You know, if I can get these 2 bases kind of established and then just make the fight be here, up in like in this zone of the minimap, then those bases will kind of stay defended. So I got an immortal there. I do only have 300 hit points, and I believe Yamato is a spell, so the armor is irrelevant. The 300 hit points will do one-shot an immortal. And when depending on fortresses, I think the lose my train of thought here. Yeah, when I'm defending on fortresses, the immortal is the most scary unit anyways, so that's what I kind of want to defend against. So again, I had vision over here. I had the watchtower scanning it. just hide their mortals here as he comes to attack. See Yamato's with that world count go right down to 3, 2, 1. That was a really good attack, actually. I held both the PFs. I took out almost all his immortals. I'm in really good shape now. What I do need to do is start making command centers, and I got the money for it too. Yeah, I should really be expanding right now. Protoss is taking his 5th base. I'm still on my 4th. Income tab. We're a similar harvester count though, so we'll both be fully saturated. He can have more gas if he wants to. Oh, actually a 6th as well. I think this is definitely a response Protoss should do, but a lot earlier in the game. Now, once you see that there's PFs over here and PFs over here, I'm not doing anything aggressive. Did get the last immortal, but only after the High Templar fed back everything. So if I target something with Yamato cannon, and while the Yamato is charging, he casts feedback on that BC, the Yamato does get cancelled. So you can't really, it's not like EMP versus Storm where whoever gets off first is like kind of wins the battle. Feedback can be casted long after Yamato and still win the battle. There's not much you can do about that. I mean, when you know there's feedback on the field, just kind of Yamato as frequently as possible, even if it doesn't make a lot of sense, just so the feedbacks won't be as effective. And also you want to Yamato as frequently as possible, just so you actually Yamato, because once the feedback goes off, not only will it do a lot of damage, but it'll remove your ability to Yamato from that target, so get them off while you can. So sending out more command centers, one for the high ground here. Do see him balling up over here, so I'm going to send my... He's back there. Where's the command center? The other one? Yeah, that one's going to go down. This is being retarded. Despite all the feedbacks though, and the stalkers and void rays, you can see this composition is pretty darn strong. It's like, what else is Protoss to do? He built void rays. They're good versus massive air. Built stalkers, good anti-air unit. He fed back all my bow cruisers. And he still got base smell. Even he has a smaller army, he's probably way behind in upgrades and whatnot. Stalkers are 3-2, the void rays are 0-1, and I'm 3-3, so obviously if you were fully upgraded that would be a much different story. Where are you going? Yeah, you need to rebuild that. I should still keep making command centers though, I'm floating all this cash. Oh, that's not good. Gosh. Wonder. The minimap right now. Can you tell that I have a command center in the bottom right? Look like from his view. He can't see it either. That's funny. If you float a structure right over top of another structure, it doesn't show up on the minimap. Watch the minimap here from his view. There, only now do you see the red splotch coming. Interesting. I probably should have attacked like this base or something with my battle cruisers right now. I knew this was going to distract her. Let's see. So there's an example of me getting my Yamato's off before the that feedback scan. Yeah, having just destroyed his army, I definitely should have come up here right afterwards. I don't think I did, if I remember right. No, I kind of fall back. I have like 5,000 missile turrets down. How did he find a spot this safe, this deep? Bring up another sensor tower. I guess this is to tell me if he takes the space. Probably gonna bring the fight back up to the top, yeah. So definitely not maxed. Am I building units right now? 2 battle cruisers. I got 8 starports. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I should be building more. I think I should mix EMP into this build more. The more I think about it, the more... Maybe not so much against Templar, but against Void Rays, like... If it's hard for me not to cluster versus Vortex, it must be hard for him not to cluster versus Imp. I can just do it like... You know, I have so many macro orbitals at this point in the game, typically, that... you know, scan ahead, lead with some EMPs, and then bring your force in afterwards. Like half my Falcons just sitting back here fighting Zealots. Well, that's alright. Pure Void Ray is not going to do well versus pure Battle Cruiser. Their damage output's good, but they're just a little too weak. Yeah, so that will be the last video here. So this is my Sky Terran idea versus Protoss, all about trying to just mass command centers at the beginning, with some of them being PFs. Do a little bit of scouting to figure out when you need your PFs and where to put them. You probably only want this on a map where you can defend in 2 spots to defend 3 bases. So that's probably most maps though. If you have like main and a natural, then you can PF outside the natural. And then just double PF your third. This map's especially good though, because I also have the ramp, choke, and it's kind of... I guess this is kind of chokey, not really, but a little bit. And then building my factory after to my 4th command center, or you can do it after your 3rd. I'm not quite sure which is best. No, that's after my 5th actually. That's too late for a factory. I think after you start your 4th command center, like the one you're going to float over here. Next set of minerals should go to your factory. Oh, structure upgrades. Pretty key. I start structure armor first, because if he is going to come at me with a bum rush of like Zealots and Stalkers, you want the extra armor. And then range will obviously be helpful later with all the turrets and PFs I'm putting all over the place. Gas in early game shouldn't be a problem, so this won't be a big deal. It's only once you start your battle cruiser production that the gas stores are going to start dropping. But resource-wise, I found this usually works out pretty well for me. I'm not floating ridiculous amounts of either minerals or gas. At least not in like the early portion of the game. And again, much like most of my builds, if you bring up the units tab here, I'm surviving with nothing for a really long time and relying on Mr. Planetary Fortress. I guess I found a way to survive with fortresses in all 3 matchups now. I do get an orbital of my natural with this build, but I think I make up for it with building like 3-4 fortresses immediately afterwards. Like, damn, I shouldn't have gone to that second orbital. Let's repair that decision by going mass PF. Yeah, so my Valkyries were out position for that first attack, defending this new base when he comes in from the south. Yeah, I think it's hard to target Protoss stuff. It clusters up so much, and then has stalkers walking on top of it. At this point it'd be easy, but when they're balled up, it's hard to target the mortals. Especially the Colossus. I'm not even sure what you're supposed to click on. Just like center of them, I guess. What happens if there's a zealot right underneath here? Which one's going to click? You just click on the circle? No, not the circle. I guess, yeah. Just target their heads. Headshot Yamato. Should do bonus damage. So with that, this is a really long video, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. This is my new Sky Terran build. Thank you guys for tuning in. I even put an extra ad in the middle just because this took way too much time. This was supposed to be 4 videos and ended up being 1. Alright, thank you everyone, and goodbye.